JJ, you have been such a great influence in this city and beyond. So let me ask you, where did your influences come from?
I appreciate that, first of all. Mine are my parents, definitely. I mean, I grew up very fortunate to have two parents in my house who taught me morals and values, and they not only taught me, but they showed me. You know, they tried to lead the way. My dad was a firefighter for 29 years, and my mom started as a secretary at her company and worked her way up to becoming a vice president. And they just kind of taught me what it means to work hard and also what it means to try and be a good person. Now, I mean, we're all always obviously trying to strive to be better, but they just taught me kind of morals and values that I've tried to live my life by.
Yeah, and it runs in the family. Grandpa James was also somebody that taught you some morals and values.
Yeah, he was the best. He was such an incredible man, and he taught me how to be passionate. He taught me how to love something and how to work for something and how to enjoy life. I think that was probably the biggest thing my grandpa taught me, was how to really enjoy life. He came to all of our football games and all of our hockey games and everything as a kid, but not only the games, he came to practices, he came to workouts, he came to everything. So he was the best.
Yeah, the Watt family mantra, act like somebody.
Yeah, that's, my dad told us that every single day before we went off to school, every single morning.
What did he mean by that?
He meant go out in the world and do something and be somebody. Don't just float through life being anybody. Try and be somebody and try and make a difference. And I think that's, it took me a while to learn it because I was too young to understand it at the time, but as I grew up and I look back on it and I learned from it, he instilled it in me without even knowing it, is that I've tried to live my life by that mantra of being somebody and making a difference in the world. Stay positive,
be respectful.
That's the goal. That's
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah, my mom and dad always taught me that, is yes, sir, yes, ma'am. And it's, it's just treat people how you would hope to be treated, or how you would hope people would treat your family. Yeah. And I think that's, as long as you live life by those rules, you're going to do all right.
When it comes to wanting to do something with that influence that you have your foundation. What was the process of going through who you decide that you were going to benefit? Because that's a hard part. We'd love to be able to save the world. Yeah. None of us can save the world, but we can do our part towards saving the world. Yeah. You focus in this instance on middle school kids. Right. Why middle school as opposed to elementary or high school?
I think that middle school kids are very impressionable. You know, when I went through my time back in middle school, I feel like that's kind of the time where you're getting old enough to understand your life decisions a little bit, and you're also picking the path that you're going to go on through high school and through life. And so I think that we want to give those kids opportunities to at least have the chance to make good choices. Mm-hmm. Now, they're going to make the choices they're going to make regardless, but we want to give them that opportunity. No kid should not have the opportunity to play sports after school if they want to. And that's what I saw as the problem when I started this, is I saw schools that could not afford to give kids the opportunity to play sports after school. Yeah. And obviously I know what sports can do for your life from a teamwork, discipline, work ethic, time management standpoint. So for kids to not have that opportunity is cruel, and so I wanted to make sure we gave them that opportunity.
With that said, there are a lot of kids who focus on the end goal as opposed to the process getting there, and that is, I want to be a JJ Watt, or I want to be a right. But I'm willing to bet the process for you to get here is what's priceless for you.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I have some of my best friends in life are my middle school and high school friends, and none of them obviously made it to the professional levels, none of them even made it to the college levels, but they still talk about the lessons that they learned in sports and the bonds that we built in sports, and that's what connected us throughout life. And I think that just because you may never be an NFL player, just because your career doesn't take you that way, doesn't mean that it can't be extremely beneficial.
Yeah. The JJ Watt Charity Classic, who's throwing out the first pitch?
Mattress Mac. I'm excited about it. Mattress Mac is going to throw out the first pitch. He's obviously a legend in Houston, and he's done so much for this community, and so many people look up to him, including myself, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, well, after Hurricane Harvey, a lot of people looked at you and Mattress Mac, of people who just stepped up to help. Have you gotten a chance to meet any families who've benefited from that help?
Yeah, I have, and it's been incredible, you know, and not only just meet them, but we get letters and stories, and the people reach out to us and tell us their experiences, and it's heartbreaking and uplifting all at the same time, because you hear what they went through and you hear the stories and the horror that they went through, but then you also hear the exciting, uplifting part of what they've experienced since then, and the rebuild, and what it's like to overcome something that tried to bring you down.
I know a number of professional athletes, not bragging, You probably know.
Oh,
You
big
probably know a
time.
few too, right?
Can you introduce me?
But there are some that actually say, you know, Houston's where I work, but my hometown's back someplace else, and they leave and go back someplace else. You seem to have really embraced Houston. What is it about this city? If you were talking to somebody else, let's say if Tom Brady said, "Look, I'm looking at moving to Houston," what would you say to someone else about the city that you didn't know before you came here?
Houston is so wildly diverse. You know, it's a huge city. I mean, it's just square footage wise, it's a gigantic city, but there's something about it that feels like a small town. And now maybe that's just my personal experience because I've been fortunate enough to meet so many people, but it's so diverse. There's people from so many backgrounds and cultures. But when you walk around, people are so kind and genuine and nice, and it feels like one huge family. One very spread out, traffic-packed family, but it's such an incredible vibe that we have here. And it's not only the people, it's the food, it's the culture, it's the different experiences you get to have. And I think that's the coolest part about Houston to me, is just so many different people coming together to create one huge but small community.
Speaking of family, the Texans as a team are like a family, but you're going to pit brother against brother during that classic offense versus defense. So the game itself will be something great for people to watch, but there's just a lot surrounding the game too that people can enjoy.
Yes, so obviously the offense versus defense, we have to get competitive. I mean, we're professional athletes, we love to get competitive, even if it is softball. But then we have, this year I'm actually going to add a couple things which I'm really excited about. In between a couple of the innings, we're going to have different things. One's going to be like a potato sack race. And I'm going to make it count. So like, it's going to be worth a run for your team. So if you win or you lose, it matters. So we're going to have like a potato sack race. We're going to have a tricycle race. I'm going to see if I can get a basketball hoop out there, because a lot of our guys claim to be good basketball players, but we'll see.
Says the guy who's what, 6'7"?
Yeah, I can dunk and foul. That's all I can do. I don't claim to be a good shooter, but I'm really excited. And they sign autographs for the fans. They take pictures. They do so much to make it fun. And then obviously the fans are unbelievable, and I'm so thankful for them.
A silent auction where they can buy things that they might not get someplace else, and the whole bit. So they're going to have a whole great time there. And again, it's going to benefit.
It's going to benefit my foundation, which is after school athletics for middle school kids. So we're just going to, we're getting close to being in all 50 states around the country. We've donated almost, if not over, $5 million now, and we're just trying to give kids opportunities, especially in low income areas where they don't get those same opportunities, and we just want them to have a chance.
Thank you so much for that. One last thing, I can actually see your house from my balcony.
Really?
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, with my cup of coffee in my robe, good morning, JJ.
I got to be careful now with what I do out back by my pool, I guess.
Don't be careful, just wave and say good morning back. Speaking of, I Ubered over here. Can I carpool back with you?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you're ready, as long as you can wait for my workout to finish up, we'll get you right back.
Okay, I'm good. I'll wait. I'll wait all day. I'll wait all night. JJ, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, so one of the great things about sitting next to JJ Watt, besides sitting next to JJ Watt, is I felt so petite. I felt small. And by the way, I did wait till 5, and then 6 came, and 7 came, and 8, and I had to Uber home. All right, the JJ Watt Charity Classic is Saturday at Minute Maid Park. The Home Run Derby is at 6 p.m., and the softball game begins at 7. For more information, log on to jjwfoundation.org.